If you've ever gotten a text saying you owe money for a toll, or if someone online has ever made you feel loved, only to ask for cash, this video is for you. Today, we're diving into shocking revelations from a recent Senate hearing, where Senator Sheldon Whitehouse and others exposed how scammers use fake identities, VPNs, and gig platforms to defraud millions, including vulnerable seniors. Click that subscribe button right now to stay ahead of the scams and protect yourself and your loved ones.
If you're getting texts and emails that say you owe a toll and that proceedings are about to begin against you because of unpaid tolls or tickets, consider that to be a scam and be very wary about clicking onto any link in that text that purports to be the way that you're going to pay off the unpaid toll or ticket, and know instead that this is almost certainly a scam. The Department of Motor Vehicles and the Rhode Island Bridge and Turnpike Authority have both put out notices that these are not their way of dealing with customers who owe them money. And so when you see that, be very, very wary. That's my public service announcement for the day. I'd also like to put into the record the story of a Rhode Islander who was the victim of a romance scam and lost a great deal of money to a scammer who was sentenced to serve 121 months in prison by then Chief Judge Jack McConnell in Rhode Island. It is hard to overstate what happens to an elderly person who is both betrayed by someone who she thought was a romantic interest, who she thought was a friend, who she had come to count on, and then also to come back from that and find that her finances are in complete disarray, and she's going to have to really rethink what the rest of her life looks like, that it's going to change her entire financial position going forward. So I ask unanimous consent to put that
without objection
in the record. One of the things that helps the fraudsters is anonymity.
If you've received such messages, do not click the link. Report it immediately. And before we continue, hit subscribe to keep getting updates on the latest scam tactics and safety tips.
That is very often provided by VPNs or by fake names. Very often the big platforms have a role in all of this. And we don't have a whole lot of time right now, but I really would be grateful if each of you, if you have thoughts about what the best things that we could do to penetrate the anonymity where it is a part of the scam, and to figure out how to hold the platforms more accountable for supporting these frauds, I would be grateful, because I think, this has been a good hearing, Mr. Chairman. It's been very bipartisan. Everybody has constituents who are being scammed by these predatory folks. Some of them are from overseas. When I was U.S. Attorney, we had what they called 419, I think they called them scams, where like a Nigerian minister suddenly discovered that he had $4 million squirreled away and just needed to get your account information so he could store it in your account, and you'd get $2 million of the $4 million, and he'd get the $2 million. It was going to be a great deal. All you had to do was give him all your bank information. Yeah, how did that work out? So the more we can drill into who is really behind these things, the trick with those was trying to figure out who was at the other end of it. And the Secret Service did a pretty good job of investigating, but now anonymity is even worse. And therefore, these frauds are practiced more prevalently and with less accountability. So your thoughts on dealing with the anonymity problem and how we can break through that to find the perpetrators more regularly, I'd really be grateful for, and thank you for the hearing, Chairman.
Imagine being in your 70s. You're lonely. Someone online seems to truly care until they don't. Senator Whitehouse shared a tragic story of a Rhode Island woman who lost her life savings to a man pretending to love her. That scammer is now serving over 10 years in prison. But for the victim, the financial and emotional damage is permanent. Romance scams are growing. They prey on trust, isolation, and hope. And they can destroy futures. To help fight back, subscribe to this channel and share this video. Awareness is your first line of defense. Scammers today aren't just persuasive, they're practically invisible. Using VPNs, fake names, and gig platforms, they can commit crimes without revealing who they are. The Senate is now asking the tough questions: should platforms be held accountable when fraud happens on their watch? Senator Whitehouse stressed the trick is figuring out who's at the other end of the scam. The anonymity problem is the new frontline in fraud detection, and it's one we all need to understand. Don't miss future updates on this critical fight. Hit that subscribe button and join the conversation. Remember those old emails from a Nigerian prince who needed your help transferring millions? Senator Whitehouse recalls how common those scams were when he served as U.S. Attorney. But today, they've evolved into more dangerous, more believable forms, and they're harder to trace. The scams may have changed, but the goal hasn't: steal your identity, your data, and your money. We need better tools to trace and prosecute these crimes, and we need your help spreading awareness. Before we wrap up, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the digital threats shaping our world. From fake toll fees to heartbreaking love stories turned criminal, the Senate hearing made one thing clear: scammers are evolving, and they're counting on your silence. Whether it's better platform accountability, transparency in digital services, or educating each other, we all have a role to play. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button. Share it with someone you care about, and most importantly, subscribe so we can keep uncovering the truth together. Stay sharp. Stay safe. Stay informed.